It's 11 a.m. at Cedar Point Amusement Park, Ohio. The car park is already full. The hot dog stalls are dishing up the wieners and people are squeezing their behinds into tiny seats in search of the latest thrill of a lifetime. With 16 roller coasters, Cedar Point is a mecca for roller coaster fanatics from all over the world.
Awesome! Yeah!
These people are prepared to queue for as long as it takes in order to try the tallest, fastest, twistiest rides ever made. Roller coasters are like a drug, and once you're hooked, it seems you just can't get enough.
I love roller coasters. It's an escape from reality. You do things on roller coasters that you can't do in real life. Speed to 120 miles an hour. Tight turns and twists. And hills and speed. All those combined really get your adrenaline going.
Building a stomach-turning, mind-bending roller coaster ride is no easy task. In a multi-million-dollar industry, the stakes are as high as the rides themselves. In order to keep the crowds coming, the park must build a new ride every few years and ensure it's the latest and greatest anywhere in the world.
Designs look somewhat like
Rob
this.
Decker, vice president of Cedar Point, is the man in charge.
I keep kind of a board that just has a lot of ideas up here in a broad range, and some are just innovative rides that this is kind of a looping ball type of a roller coaster.
Somehow, Rob and his team have to find a way to make their latest ride more incredible than the last. To do that, they've turned to the latest advances in manufacturing techniques and computer-aided design to create a ride which just 40 years ago would have been impossible. The very first roller coaster designers had to rely on trial and error, with occasionally unfortunate results. For example, the earliest loop-the-loop designs were perfectly circular, and consequently often caused neck injuries to the passengers. And if there's one thing that's bad for business, it's damaging your customers. Fortunately, rides soon became far safer. The earliest designs were created from wood, and whilst for many roller coaster nuts these retain a nostalgic attraction, wood seriously limits the types of designs possible. To solve this problem, designers turned to steel. Not only are tubular steel structures stronger, lighter and cheaper than anything that can be created with wood, steel has allowed roller coaster designers to create rides bigger and wilder than ever before. With steel, you can have vertical sections of track. You can have sections that go upside down. You can even create a loop-the-loop. Or, if you really want to scare the pants off your riders, you can have multiple loops, twists and turns, one after the other. And of course, tubular steel has allowed designers to build roller coasters higher and higher and higher. The record now stands at an incredible 139 meters. Traditionally, every roller coaster begins with a big, steep rise, which the train is pulled up by a chain drive, before gravity takes over and does the rest. And if there's one thing guaranteed to cause the biggest screams, it's the drop. It's during this steep drop that riders experience what is known as airtime. This is the holy grail of roller coasters. Airtime is the period of negative gravity riders experience when a car crests a peak and drops. The more airtime, the better the ride. But as the track has become faster and more twisted, designers have had to completely rethink the design of the cars. Early cars were not unlike railway carriages, with metal wheels simply slotting into the track. But in order to go upside down without injuring their precious passengers, modern cars are made from lightweight titanium and aluminium alloys and use bracing wheels made from urethane composites. And to power them without a steep drop, designers have been experimenting with hydraulic systems that can launch these trains at over 200 kilometers per hour. It seems roller coasters just can't get any taller or faster. So Cedar Point have decided to try a new approach with a ride they're calling Maverick.
Our idea was, instead of being the next tallest roller coaster, what if it's the lowest roller coaster? What if it's really near to the ground, but just interesting in the way that it moves through the track sections?
Maverick will skim the ground at a barnstorming 1.5 meters. To create it, the designers turned to the latest in computer simulation software. This virtual reality simulation has allowed them to experiment with different ideas before a single pylon is erected. And with Maverick, instead of trying to go taller or faster, they've concentrated instead on the airtime passengers will experience. This new ride will include no fewer than 8 zero-gravity moments, including a 95-degree drop on the first incline.
I still get scared on these things. They're just amazing. It just keeps the kid within alive.
Amazing or not, for this amusement park, their new roller coaster represents a $21 million gamble. But if they get it right, it'll keep the punters screaming for many years to come.